Salaria with those details. Now, on the 12th of February, more than 127 million Bangladeshis will be heading to the polls in what is being described as the country's first genuinely competitive national election in more than a decade. The vote comes 18 months after mass student-led protests forced former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to flee the country, ending a long and dominant rule. Since then, Bangladesh has been governed by an interim administration led by Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, tasked with restoring political normalcy and credibility to the electoral process. For India, the stakes are high. What emerges from Dhaka will not just shape Bangladesh's domestic future, but also determine the trajectory of India's security, border stability and regional influence in East and South Asia. The election is being fought without the participation of the Awami League, which has been barred from contesting. In its absence, the contest is narrowed to three broad political forces. The strongest traditional player is the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, led by Tarique Rahman, the son of former PM Khaleda Zia. Rahman is contesting the election from exile, but remains the party's central figure and decision maker. But he is, of course, back now in the country. The BNP is also a coalition led by Jamaat-e-Islami, which is aligned with the newly formed Nationalist Citizen Party. The NCP is driven largely by Gen Z activists who emerged from the protest movement that toppled Hasina. Election Commissioner Abdur Rahman Al Masood has said the results to tomorrow's 13th national parliamentary election and referendum will be announced without much delay. He said, and I quote, "The voting atmosphere is very good. A festive mood prevails. We are working in a well-planned manner. I hope the results will be published without significant delay," quote unquote, is what he said. He's also inspected the election results dissemination booth at the Election Commission headquarters in Dhaka. Commissioners Muhammad Anwarul Islam Sarkar and Tehmida Ahmed were also present during the visit. Major General Sudhakarji, geopolitical expert, is joining us on this big story. Major General Sudhakarji, the senior election officials claim that the results should be out without much delay. They've also spoken about the mood in Bangladesh before voting.
Yes, Uday, good evening. Thank you for inviting me to your channel. I do agree with your articulations, but anything is possible at the moment. Going by the groundswell input, BNP is on the lead and going by the popularity, but then the Jamaati is not far too way behind. If BNP is leading with say 33-34%, going by the input of the environment, Jamaati is around 29. But what is most dangerous, no one seems to be talking. We all are deeply immersed in the election favor and things happening around. The most challenging thing which is happening in Bangladesh today is the security. What after the elections? Even if BNP comes to power, will it have the majority? Out of 300 seats, it is fielding, I think, candidates in 292 odd. And let's say it has a majority. There are three different contingencies. It has a majority. It goes in for a coalition because of lack of majority. And it turns out to be with the least kind of majority. So that third one is ruled out. Second one is quite possible. And the first one is highly possible. Even if that happens, will the security of Bangladesh and stability get restored? That is the moot question. As a military man, that comes to my mind. Back to you, Uday.
More breaking news, in fact, also coming in now. Chief Election Commissioner Nasiruddin will be giving an address at 7 p.m. Bangladesh time, a day before the 13th parliamentary election and referendum is scheduled to be held. The Public Relations Officer of the Election Commission, Ruhul Amin, has said that the CEC's address will be broadcast live on BTV, Bangladesh radio and private television channels. So all eyes, Pramit Pal Chaudhary, South Asia Head, Eurasia Group, on the CEC of Bangladesh. He's all set to address the nation evening before polling.
Yeah, I think it'll be just basically a message of reassurance that people should be allowed, that people should expect to come out. They should feel safe to come out and vote. There are 100,000 Bangladeshi military out on the streets, and I believe about 150,000 or so Bangladeshi police. There has been some violence in the run-up to the election. About somewhere between 200 to 300 people have been killed over the past 18 months in political violence. Most of it, however, is inter-party fighting, or even in some cases intra-party faction fighting. About half of it is BNP fighting BNP. But it's nothing that, should we say, is abnormal by the standards of Bangladeshi or even, should we say, Bengali politics. So therefore, I don't think that will have a major impact. But his vote, I expect his statement to be largely one of reassurance, and he may also give a date or time frame as to when the results should be released. The expectation is that they would be released roughly 2 days after the polling, so Saturday would be the expected date for the results to be released.
All right, more news in fact coming in this hour. Bilaluddin Pradhan, a Jamaat-e-Islami leader and teacher from